गुणैरान्वितां त्वं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तु ते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So usually this class, this discussion is about the Bhagavad Gita, and we had been reading Bhagavad Gita chapter 17. I came across this shloka chapter 17 and shloka number 14, which talks about the austerity and how Prabhupada explains that there are three types of austerity: with the body, with the mind, and verbal austerity. So with the your speaking power, that also you should engage in the service of something. That austerity itself means that what which you are not very ready to do something, because your mind is very flickering, and it will go any place anywhere, and bringing it back and keeping it like already always focus on Krishna and Krishna's name, it is very very difficult. Your tongue is always moving, and tongue wants to talk about all the prajalpas, talks about all the gossip. It gives immense pleasure to tongue, because it is something that is not in the discipline mode. Whereas when we ask our tongue to sit down and chant, and then like our mind to engage on that chanting, and our ears to hear that, it is all austerity for us, because our tongue is not used to chanting Krishna's name all the time. And also our with body, doing the services, cleaning the temple, or sitting in one position also is austerity for us. So I thought, why not we do the austerity by engaging our tongue into something wonderful. So this is definitely not austerity for all you devotees, because you really like to hear Krishna Katha, you really like to read this scriptures. So this is actually something like a bonus for you guys. I mean, it is not austerity, but I'm just talking in general. It is austerity for a person like me, who is not sitting in one place and focusing on, like, Krishna's pastimes and chanting Krishna's name all the time. So let's do this by opening Veda Base, canto number 10, chapter 3. And we will all take turns, and we will read the birth of Lord Krishna. As described in this chapter, the Supreme Personality.
What's the page number, Mataji, on Srimad Bhagvatam? 10 Canto Part 3. What's the page number, please?
Okay, I'll have to open, Prabhuji. I have Veda base open. Anybody is using Bhagavatam?
I
Just
don't
give
have
me.
a Veda base, but I'm looking the book,
Okay, chapter 3. Give me a minute. Okay.
Oh, chapter. So
It
chapter
is
3.
179, Prabhuji.
What's the number? Sorry?
179.
179?
Yeah.
No. I'm trying to find in mine. Canto
Canto
part 3.
10.1 and so 179, right? Let me just put, yes. Chapter 3, Birth of Lord Krishna.
I don't have it, so but mixed up my books are.
Okay, no
Sorry.
problem. You take your time.
Okay, I'll listen
Uh,
it. Sorry.
10 point, Mataji, 10.3.1, you said?
no, 10.1, current Canto 10 is having many parts, right? So part
Oh,
1 of Canto 1 and chapter 3, page number 179.
ओके. तो वर्स सांगा ना, माझ्याकडे पुस्तक नाही आहे आता.
तुम्ही वेदाबेस वापरताय का?
हो.
हा, मग पहिले आपलं चॅप्टर समरी आहे.
SB 10.
चॅप्टर समरी पासून करायचंय. मेक इट लाईक अ ऍडव्हान्स व्ह्यू, माताजी, and then you will see everything: chapter summary or chapter description, purport, translation, everything you can open there.
लिंक
Vikas
पाठव.
Prabhu, everyone else got it? Sorry?
Are you using Vedabase? Are you using Vedabase?
Yes, I'm using Vedabase.
Can you send the link on our group, please, so that everybody can open it?
Okay, let me see if I yeah, can you see that? Can you click on that link? It is a advanced view only. 10/3, SB 10/3, Mataji.
Ha.
Because in Vedabase there is no part 1, part 2, part 3. It is only when you're using the books.
Chapter 3, ha. The birth of Lord Krishna.
Got it? Okay.
Yes, Mataji.
Let's read. Hare Krishna. Chapter 3, The Birth of Lord Krishna. As described in this chapter, the Supreme Personality of a Godhead, Krishna, Hari, is in his original form appeared as Vishnu so that so that his father and mother could understand that their son was the Supreme Personality of a Godhead. Because they were afraid of Kamsa, when the Lord appeared as an ordinary child, they took him to Gokul, the home of Nanda Maharaj. Mother Devaki, being fully transcendental, that is Satchid Ananda, does not belong to this material world. Thus, the Supreme Personality of a Godhead appeared with his forehand as if born from her womb. Upon seeing the Lord in that Vishnu form, Vasudev was struck with wonder, and in transcendental happiness, he and Devaki mentally gave 10,000 cows in charity to the Brahmanas. Vasudev then offered prayers to Lord, addressing him as the Supreme Person, Parabrahma, the Super Soul, who is beyond duality and who is internally and externally all pervading. The Lord, the cause of all causes, is beyond material existence. Although he is the creator of this material world, when he enters this world as as a Paramatma, he is all pervading. Andantarastu Paramanu Chayantarastham, yet he is transcendentally situated. For the creation, maintenance, and annihilation of this material world, the Lord appeared as the Guna avatars, that is Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwar. Thus, Vasudev offered prayers. Vasudev offered prayers full of meaning to the Supreme Personality of a Godhead. So, whatever earlier was written, it was a part of Vasudeva's prayers. Devaki followed her husband by offering prayers describing the transcendental nature of the Lord. Fearing Kamsa and desiring that the Lord not to be understood by the atheistic and materialistic non-devotee, she prayed that the Lord must withdraw his transcendental four-arm form and appear like an ordinary child with two hands. The Lord the Lord reminded Vasudeva and Devaki of two other incarnations in which he had appeared as their son. He had appeared as a Prishni Garbha when Vasudeva and Devaki they were uh, Prishni and Sutapa. Prishni was Vasudeva's name and Sutapa was Devaki's name, and Vamandev. Vamandev avatar is Aditi and Kashyap Muni's son. And now this was the third time that he was appearing as a son of a Devaki to fulfill their desire. The Lord then decided to leave the residence of Vasudev and Devaki in the prison house of Kansa, and at that very same time, Yogamaya took birth as the daughter of Yashoda. By the arrangement of a Yogamaya, Vasudev was uh, able to leave the prison house and save the child from the hands of the Kamsa. When when Vasudev brought Krishna to the house of Nanda Maharaj, he saw that by Yogamaya's arrangement, Yashoda, as well as everyone else, was deeply asleep. Thus, he exchanged the babies, taking Yogamaya from Yashoda's lap and placing Krishna there instead. Then Vasudev returned to his own place, having taken Yogamaya as his daughter. He placed Yogamaya on Devaki's bed and prepared to be a prisoner as before. In Gokul, Yashoda could not understand whether she had given birth to a male or a female child. Hari bol. So now we will skip reading the shlokas, and I love to read the purport also, but let's let's see what you all say, so that like we want to read maximum today. Uh, Haladar Das Prabhuji,
Yeah,
please kindly, if you want to read the first translation of first five
I
shloka.
I then don't have a book, Mataji. I don't.
Yeah, yeah. So just read the translation of first five shlokas.
Oh, the
We are not
sloka.
reading shlokas, yeah. Just translation.
Oh, you mean Bhagavad Gita you're talking about?
No, Srimad Bhagavatam 182 page.
No, I don't have a book.
Okay.
That's what I'm sorry.
Hare Krishna, Aladir Prabhu, Sharanagata Mataji just share link on our WhatsApp group, so you can open that, and there you can, if you scroll down, you will see the translation.
Oh.
Mataji, would you like to read?
Oh, yes, Mataji.
Who else is there? Geeta
Translation
Mataji.
by Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Thereafter, at the auspicious time for the appearance of the Lord, the entire universe was surcharged with all the qualities of goodness, beauty, and peace. The constellation Rohini appeared, as did stars like Ashwini. The sun, the moon, and the other stars and planets were very peaceful. All directions appeared extremely pleasing, and the beautiful stars twinkled in the cloudless sky. Decorated with towns, villages, mines, and pasturing grounds, the earth seemed all auspicious. The rivers followed with clear water, and the lakes and the vast reservoirs, full of lilies and lotuses, were extraordinarily beautiful. In the trees and green plants full of flowers and leaves, pleasing to the eyes, birds like cuckoos and swarms of bees began chanting with sweet voices for the sake of the demigods. A pure breeze began to blow, pleasing the sense of touch and bearing the aroma of flowers. And when the Brahmanas engaging in ritualistic ceremonies ignited their fires according to Vedic principles, the fires burned steadily, undis- undisturbed by the breeze. Thus, when the birthless Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was about to appear, the saints and Brahmanas who had always been distant disturbed by demons like Kamsa and his men, felt peace within the core of their hearts, and kettle drums simultaneously vibrated from the upper planetary system. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Let's read only translation. So, Vikas Prabhu, do you have it? Okay. Uday
Hare
Malgan
Krishna.
Prabhu.
Yes, I
Ha,
have it.
Hari Bol Prabhuji, please five shloka next five, 6 to 10.
Oh, I thought you. Oh, but just the translation, right?
Yes, but let's just read the translation.
Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Uh, 10th canto, chapter 3, verse 6. The Kinnaras and Gandharvas began to sing auspicious songs. The Siddhas and Charanas offered auspicious prayers, and the Vidyadharis, along with the Apsaras, began to dance in jubilation. Hare Krishna.
Five shloka, Prabhuji, till 10th.
Okay, Mataji. 10th canto, chapter 3, verses 7 and 8. The demigods and great saintly persons showered flowers in a joyous mood. The clouds gathered in the sky and very mildly thundered, making sounds like those of the ocean's waves. Then the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu, who is situated in the core of everyone's heart, appeared from the heart of Devki in the dense darkness of night, like the full moon rising on the eastern horizon, because Devki was of the same category as Sri Krishna. 10th canto, chapter 3, verses 9 and 10. Vasudev then saw the newborn child, who had very wonderful lotus-like eyes and who bore in his 4 hands the 4 weapons, Shankha, Chakra, Gada, and Padma. On his chest was the mark of Shrivatsa, and on his neck the brilliant Kaustubha gem. Dressed in yellow, his body blackish like a dense cloud, his scattered hair fully grown, and his helmet and earrings sparkling uncommonly with the valuable gem Vaidurya. The child, decorated with a brilliant belt, armlets, bangles, and other ornaments, appeared very wonderful. Hare Krishna.
Hari Hari. Anybody else would? I'm not sure if you have
I,
Geeta
I,
Mat.
I,
We can read.
Okay, Uday Prabhuji, please, Uday Malgan Prabhuji, text 11 to 15, and then Geeta Mataji, you can read later. Yeah,
if she
15.
wants to read, okay. Hare Krishna. When Vasudeva saw his extraordinary son, his eyes were struck with wonder. In transcendental jubilation, he mentally collected 10,000 cows and distributed them among the Brahmanas as a transcendental festival. Um, 12th. O Maharaja Parikshit, descendant of King Bharata, Vasudeva could understand that his child was the supreme personality of Godhead Narayana. Having conducted this without a doubt, he became fearless, bowing down with the folded hands and concentrating his attention. He began to offer prayers to the child, who illuminated his birthplace by his natural influence. 13. Vasudeva said, My Lord, you are the supreme person beyond the material existence, and you are the super soul. Your form can be perceived by transcendental knowledge, by which you can be understood as the supreme personality of the Godhead. Your personality. I now understand your personality perfectly. My Lord, you are the same person. This is 14. My Lord, you are the same person who in the beginning created this material world by his personal external energy. After the creation of the world of 3 gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas, you appear to have entered it, although in fact you have not. 15 and 17. The Mahat Tattva, the total material energy, is undivided, but because of the material modes of nature, it appears to separate into earth, water, fire, air, and ether. Because of the living energy, Jiva Bhuta, these separated energies combine to the make of cosmic manifestation visible. But in fact, before the creation of the cosmos, the total energy is already present. Therefore, the total material energy never actually enters the creation. Similarly, although you are pursued by our senses because of your presence, you cannot be pursued by the senses nor experienced by the mind or words of uh, Avan Manasa Gokara. With our senses, Gochara. With our senses, we can perceive some things, but not everything. For example, we can use our eyes to see, but not to taste. Consequently, you are beyond perception by the senses. Although in touch with the modes of material nature, you are unaffected by them. You are the prime factor in the everything that all pervading, undivided supersoul. For you, therefore, there is no external or internal. You are never entered in the womb of Devaki, rather, you existed there already. Hare Krishna.
Hari Hari. Mataji, you
Hare
can
Krishna.
read. Yeah. You don't have to say the text number, Mataji. You can continue reading. Yeah.
You're telling me, Mataji?
Yes, yes, please.
Text 18, right?
Yes, from 18.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. One who considers his visible body, which is a product of three modes of nature, to be independent of the soul, is unaware of the basis of existence and therefore is a rascal. He is a rascal. Those who are learned have rejected this conclusion because one can understand through full discussion that with no basis in soul, the visible body and senses would be insubstantial. Nonetheless, although his conclusion has been rejected, a foolish person considers it a reality. Then, translation 19. Text 19. O my Lord, learned Vedic scholars conclude that the creation, maintenance, and annihilation of the entire cosmic manifestation are performed by you, who are free from endeavor, unaffected by the modes of material nature, and changes in your spiritual situation. There are no contradictions in you, who are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Parabrahman, Godhead Parabrahman. Because the three modes of material nature, sattva, rajas, and tamas, are under your control, everything takes place automatically. Sure, ma'am, should I do the 20th?
Yes,
Mataji?
please go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
Do three. Yeah.
good. My lord, your form is transcendental to the three material modes, yet for the maintenance of the three worlds, you assume the white color of Vishnu in goodness. For creation, which is surrounded by the quality of passion, you appear reddish, and at the end, when there is a need for annihilation, which is surrounded by ignorance, you appear blackish. Is
So
that good?
here, Mataji, three Vishnu is appeared in every yuga, Satya Yuga, then Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga. Every yuga, Vishnu or Krishna appears. So there it is given that like for the purpose of creation, which is surrounded by the quality of a passion. So here Vishnu is in a mode of always goodness, and it is said that he appears as a reddish in the reddish form. Then he appears as a completely white in the Satya Yuga. Then he appears as a blackish in Dwapar Yuga, reddish in Treta Yuga. And then in Kalki Yuga, it is said that he appears in a golden form. So that is given. Earlier also it was, let's discuss little bit and then because otherwise, just a second, just let me. There is very nicely, it is some part is given which is Chatushloki Bhagavat. There is one shloka which is very similar to this, that because the living energy are separated energy, so all these energy that like it seems that earth, water, fire, air, and ether, these are all separated things, and these are like total energy. It seems as the total material energy never actually enters the creation. So it is, everything is created, but it seems as if it is Lord is not here. So very nicely it is given in the text 15 to 17, little confusing. Similarly, although you are perceived by our senses because of your presence, you cannot be perceived by the senses nor experienced by the mind or a word, because all our senses, mind, everything is material, so we can't perceive Krishna with this. But with our senses we can perceive something, but not everything. For example, we can see with our eyes, but we can't taste any food with our eyes. But for God it is possible that like Krishna, he looks at our food offered to him, and he can accept that, he eat that prasadam. So Krishna can do agochara, means like with all his senses he can do many activities, or like with his eyes he can eat also, he can see also, he can smell also, he can do everything with his senses, but we are not. So many different things are given. Sorry, I missed the point. I was thinking about it while you were reading, but yeah, sorry to disturb you, Mataji. Please go ahead. So text number 21.
Hare Krishna. Uh, O my Lord, proprietor of all creation, you have now appeared in my house, desiring to protect this world. I'm sure that you will kill all the armies that are moving all over the world under the leadership of politicians who are dressed as Kshatriyas, rulers, but who are factually demons. They must be killed by you for the protection of the innocent public. Should I do text 22, Mataji?
Yes, please.
O my Lord, Lord of the demigods, after hearing the prophecy that you would take birth in our home and kill him, this uncivilized Kamsa kills so many of your elder brothers. As soon as he hears from his lieutenants that you have appeared, he will immediately come with weapons to kill you.
Hari bol.
Hari bol.
Anybody else would like to read? So this is in his prayer, Vasudev. We say Vasudev, and Vasudev's putra Vasudev is Krishna. So when we make that va as a va, it becomes like a Krishna. Vasudev is Krishna, and Vasudev is Krishna's father. So Vasudev Maharaj, I mean, he is saying that to Krishna while in the prayers he's addressing that how Kamsa had killed all the previous children, like 6 children he killed, just because he was afraid that like the child of a Devaki will kill him. So that he is mentioning. And now let's see what Shukadev Goswami, how he is explaining the rest of the thing. So who is next? Let me see who else
You
is
want
there.
me to read Mataji 23?
Oh yeah, Hari, please, Prabhuji.
I
Yeah.
found it. Sorry, I went too
Very
slow.
nice. Yes.
It's a text number 23, right? Is that what?
24, Prabhuji. Yeah.
24?
Yes.
Okay.
Right, or 23?
23, yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
The purport only, right? No, the translation only, right?
Only translation.
Sukdev Maharaj Sukdev Goswami Maharaj continued that after having seen that her child had all symptoms of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Devki Mataji, who was very much afraid of Kamsa and unusually astonished, began to offer prayers to the Lord. We got number 24. Translation. Sri Devki Mataji said, My dear Lord, there are different Vedas, some of which describe you as unperceivable through the words and the mind. Yet you are the origin of entire cosmic manifestations. You are Brahman, the greatest of everything, full of effulgence, like the sun. You have no material cause. You are free from change and deviations, and you have no material desire. Thus, the Vedas say that you are the substance. Therefore, my Lord, you are directly the origin of all Vedic statements. And by understanding you, one gradually understand everything. You are different from the light of the Brahman and Paramatma. Yet you are not different from them. Everything emanates from you. Indeed, you are the cause of all causes. Lord Vishnu, the light of the transcendental knowledge. Next one is number 20. 25. Okay. Translations. After millions of years, at the time of cosmic annihilations, when everything manifested and unmanifested is annihilated by the force of time, the five gross elements enter into the uh, subtle conceptions, and the manifested categories enter into unmanifested substance. At that time, you alone remain, and you are known as a Ananta Sesha Naga. Go number next one. Sorry, I'm going slowly on.
No problem, Prabhuji. Is everyone getting it? I mean, is there any? So in the previous 24th and 25th, Devaki Mata, 24th establishes that Lord Krishna is actually beyond this Brahman and Paramatma realization. He's a personality. Devaki Mataji is saying that you are, in a way, creator of everything. You are everywhere as a Paramatma, as a Brahman, as a effulgences coming out of his body as Brahman. And as a Paramatma, you are sitting in everyone's heart. But still you are not perceivable this with this material senses, but in a sense that like when we pray to Krishna and if he gives us power, we can still see him, because many devotees had seen in that, like, material body only. They saw Krishna, they understood Krishna, but still he is beyond their understanding. He himself is saying that, like in Bhagavad Gita, that he's having so many energies, that so many wonderful energies are coming from Krishna, and they are continuously coming. So he said to even Arjuna that it is very difficult to tell you about my energies, but I will tell you in short. And that's how he starts the chapter 7 and 9, both are explain his energies. So Devaki Mata is explaining that, like, this Brahman and Paramatma, but yet you are different than that, because he is a person, he is a personality. Sorry, Prabhuji. Go ahead,
Yeah.
next number 26.
Anybody else want to read, or you want me to continue, Mata?
I don't know if you read the 5, then like we will take the, I didn't pay up attention.
We came on 26 now.
Hare Krishna
But
Mata.
yes.
This is Atta. Say I can read, but only thing is I'm not able to find where you guys are reading.
We are reading from Veda base. If you have a book, then Srimad Bhagvatam. Do you have a book?
Hare Krishna. Okay. Go ahead, Mata.
Maybe somebody else
I will
can.
say. I will send you the link, Mataji.
Yeah, you send me one link, but I'm not able to follow.
You just scroll down, Mataji. We are
We
reading
are on the text
translation.
number 26, Mataji. 26.
Let me try to find again. Or you can send me. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I am sending you.
Okay.
This is Anaga here. After that, I can read.
Anaga, you go ahead and you can read. If text 26 is in front of you, you read from 26 to 30.
Okay, 26 to 30. Okay.
No, 26 to 30.
Inaugurator of material energy.
O inaugurator of the material energy, this wonderful creation works under the control of powerful time, which is divided into seconds, minutes, hours, and years. This element of time, which extends for many millions of years, is but another form of Lord Vishnu. For your pastimes, you act as the controller of time, but you are the reservoir of all good fortune. Let me offer my full surrender unto your lordship. Text 27. No one in this material world has become free from the four principles birth, death, old age, and disease, even by fleeing to various planets. But now that you have appeared, my lord, death is fleeing in fear of you, and living entities, having obtained shelter at your lotus feet by your mercy, are sleeping in full mental peace. Text 28. My Lord, because you dispel all the fear of your devotees, I request you to serve and give us protection from the terrible fear of Kansa. Your form as Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is appreciated by yogis in meditation. Please make this form invisible to those who see with material eyes. Text 29. O Madhusudan, because of your appearance, I am becoming more and more um,
Anxious.
anxious in fear of Kansa. Therefore, please arrange for that sinful Kansa to be unable to understand that you have taken birth from my womb. Text 30. O my Lord, you are the all pervading Supreme Personality of Godhead, and your transcendental four armed form holding uh, con- con-
Count shell.
conch shell, disc, uh, club, and lotus is unnatural for this world. Please withdraw this form and become just like a natural human child so that I may try to hide you somewhere. Um, okay.
Thank you, Mataji. Wonderful reading. Yeah, thank you.
Thank
So very, very nicely explained. Many points are there and really, really good points. Let me go back something. Yeah. So it is said that like no matter what planet you, I mean, like with the our yoga sadhana, charity, we can go to the upper planetary system, till the Brahma Lok. I mean, you can go to Swarga Lok, then above that is Bhur Bhuva Swaha. So all these lokas are there, but here Devaki Mata is saying that anywhere you go, still there is a birth because it's a material world only. It is not Vaikunthas we are talking about in material world. There are upper planetary system, but these four principles, that is birth, death, old age, and diseases, these are everywhere. So there is always fear of all these four things. But she's saying that, but when you appeared, my fear for the death is like completely gone. It is disappeared. And that is a very sweet, like this is really a fact. And then again, sweetly, as a vatsalya bhav, she is saying that still I'm anxious, that like, what if the Lord Kansa will see you? So now she is fearing for that child and not for herself. So she is like fearless, like about her death and diseases and everything. But she's like little anxious that like what will Kansa do? And that's why she is saying that, you withdraw this form, like, that with the club and conch shell and lotus and everything, that four-arm form, and just, like a normal child, you can appear in front of me so that I will hide you. So it's like a completely Vatsalya Bhav, and very sweet verses are there. So anybody else would like to say 31 to 35? Or any number of verses
Yeah,
you can read, even 3-4 verses. Yeah,
I
go
can.
ahead.
Okay,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
again. Okay, let me find my book. 31, text 31, right?
Yes.
So, translation: At the time of devastation, the entire cosmos, containing all created moving and non-moving entities, enters your transcendental body and is held there without difficulty. But now this transcendental form has taken birth from my womb. People will not be able to believe this, and I shall become an object of ridicule.
Go ahead, Mataji.
32. The Supreme Personality of Godhead replied, My dear mother, best of the chase, in your previous birth, in the Swambhu
Swambhu millennium.
millennium, you were known as Rasni, and Vasudev, who was the most pious Prajapati, was named Sutapa.
I said sorry. I changed this, so sorry for that. Yeah, Krishni and Sutapa. Yeah.
33. When both of you were ordered by Lord Brahma to create progeny, you first underwent severe austerities by controlling your senses. 34 and 35 together. Translation: My dear father and mother, you endured rain, wind, strong sun, scorching heat, and severe cold, suffering all sorts of inconvenience according to difficult seasons. By practicing pranayam to control the air within the body through yoga, and by eating only air and dry leaves fallen from the trees, you cleansed from your minds all dirty things. In this way, desiring a benediction from me, you worshipped me with peaceful minds. 36. Thus you spent 12,000 celestial years performing difficult activities of tapasya in consciousness of me, Krishna consciousness.
Hari Bol. So our verse today's was about the austerity. In Bhagavad Gita, we were about to talk about the austerity of mind and austerity of a body. So this is what exactly, it is there in the 34, 35. It is said that like practicing these things, which is very inconvenience according to different reasons, but still we do it voluntarily. That is called as a tapasya, and there is a higher purpose behind it. Like we want, there is a intention, good intentions behind doing this kind of a tapasya, and this is what Prishni and Sutapa, they both did it. And then there is a talk about the cleanliness in that verse, in the Bhagavad Gita verse. So cleanliness is cleansing your mind. I mean, there is all sorts of a dirt. So we are cleansing that by doing the tapasya, by doing the austerity. There will be cleansing of your mind also. So that is very important thing. It is given. Thank you, Mataji. Okay. So I think you read the 5 verses, right, Mataji? So I will go with the.
Yeah.
Did she read the 5 verses, Prabhuji, or no? You
See,
were saying?
come on. We came on 36 now, right? Text
Yes,
36.
yes, 37 now, 37. So 36 is thus you spend 12,000 celestial years performing difficult activities of tapasya in consciousness of me, in Krishna consciousness. O sinless mother Devaki, after the expiry of 12,000 celestial years, in which you constantly contemplating me within the core of your heart with great faith, devotion, and austerity, I was very much satisfied with you. Since I am the best of all bestowers of benediction, I appeared in this same form as a Krishna to ask you to take from me the benediction you desire. You then expressed your desire to have a son exactly like me. Being husband and wife, being a husband and wife, but always sonless, you were attracted by the sensual desire, for by the influence of the Devi Maya, transcendental love, you wanted to have me as your son. Therefore, you never desired to be liberated from the material world. So, after doing so much of so many years of a tapasya, they both could have asked for the liberation or give us a place in a Vaikuntha planet. But there was a little bit of a desire also, like in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that four type of people approaches me: Arthi and Artharthi, Jnani, and then those who are little utsuk about Krishna, curious about the Krishna. Four type of people approaches me. So here, uh, these two were having some kind of a desire. They are Arthi, and that's why they asked for asked Krishna to be like a son or bless us with a son. Like Dhruva Maharaj also says that, like, I started this austerity thinking that I need a kingdom, I need a wealth greater than my father. But what I was asking was just, broken pieces of a glass in front of you, God. It is nothing. So both of them, they could have asked liberation or something more greater, but they said that, like, we want a son like you. But even that turned out to be a great, great benediction, because they asked for a son like Krishna. They didn't say that I just want a son. Because they said that I want a son like you, they became a parents of Krishna. So they were able to fulfill their Vatsalya Bhav. So after you received the benediction and I disappeared, you engaged yourself in a sex to have a son like me, and I fulfilled your desire. Text 41. Um, or someone else can read it. Yeah. Shamarasi Kamataji, or even your Prabhuji is there.
You said 41?
Yes.
Okay, right there. Since I found no one else as highly elevated as you in simplicity and other qualities of good characters, I appear in this world as a what's the word? Prisinga.
Is it
Prisinga.
Krishna?
Or one who is celebrated as having taken birth from Prishni. Prishni, right? Is that correct?
Right.
Prishni? Right. Thank you, Mata. Text 42. In the next millennium, I again appeared from the two of you who appeared as my mother Aditi and my father Kashyap. I was known as the Upendra, and because of being a dwarf, I was also known as the Vamana. 43. Translation. O supremely chaste mother, I, the same personality, have no appeared of you both as your son for the third time. Take my words as the truth. Goes 44 translation. I have shown you this form of Vishnu just to remind you of my previous birth. Otherwise, if I appeared like an ordinary human child, you would not believe that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, has indeed appeared. Okay. Goes number 45. Both of you, husband and wife, constantly think of me as your son, but always know that I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Mm.
By just thinking of me constantly with love and affections, you will achieve the highest perfections, returning home back to Godhead. Hare
Hari
Krishna.
Hari
Let
Bol.
somebody else try.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Can I read?
Yeah, please, Mataji.
Surendra Prabhu, would you like to read?
Oh, somebody else is there. Sorry, I didn't check.
No, I think. Okay. Text 46. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sukadeva Goswami said, after thus instructing his father and mother, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, remained silent. In their presence, by his eternal energy, he then transformed himself into a small human child. In other words, he transformed himself into his original form, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. X47. Thereafter, exactly when Vasudeva, being inspired by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was about to take the newborn child from the delivery room, Yogamaya, the Lord's spiritual energy, took birth as the daughter of the wife of Maharaj Nanda. Text 48 to 9. By the influence of Yogamaya, all the doorkeepers fell fast asleep, their senses able to work and unable to work, and the other inhabitants of the house also fell deeply asleep. When the sun rises, the darkness automatically disappears. Similarly, when Vasudeva appeared, the closed doors, which were strongly pinned with the iron and locked with iron chains, opened automatically. Since the clouds in the sky were mildly thundering and showering, Anantanag, and an expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, followed Vasudeva, beginning from the door, with hoods expanded to protect Vasudeva and the transcendental child. Text 50. Because of constant rain sent by the demigod Indra, the river Yamuna was filled with deep water, foaming about with fiercely whirling waves. But as the great Indian Ocean had formerly given way to Lord Ramachandra by allowing him to construct a bridge, the river Yamuna gave way to Vasudeva and allowed him to cross. Hare Krishna. Text 51. So somebody else.
Yeah. Vikas Prabhu, would you like to finish? Or okay, anybody else? Anyone can volunteer to read these 3 verses?
Krishna
right,
Mataji, I'm
Mataji.
driving, so I cannot.
Okay, no problem.
I can
Uday Prabhu or who is this Mataji?
This
Atsai
is
Mataji.
yeah.
go
I
on.
can um
51 Mataji, 51, 52, 53.
okay, 51. When Vasudeva reached the house of Nanda Maharaj, he saw that all the cowherd men were fast asleep. Thus he placed his own son on the bed of Yasoda, picked up her daughter, an expansion of Yogamaya, and then returned to his residence, the prison house of Krishna. 2. Vasudeva placed the female child on the bed of Devaki, bound his legs with the iron shackles, and thus remained there as before. 53. Exhausted by the labor of childbirth, Yasoda was overwhelmed with sleep and unable to understand what kind of child had been born to her.
Hari Hari. So thus we end this chapter here, birth of Lord Krishna. So there are 2 very wonderful purports. Many purports are wonderful, but there is some deep secret that not everywhere it is mentioned. So you can go to the text number 47 and just click on that so that you will see that complete text with purport. those who are new to this Veda base. So, Uday Prabhu, do you see that? Uday Malgan Prabhuji?
Yes, yeah.
Purport, would you please, you or Ananga Mataji read this?
The
Shlok.
meaning or what?
Shlok.
नाही, purport म्हणजे meaningच्या खाली translation आणि purport both are given, right?
Okay. Oh, you want me to read that?
Yes, please, Prabhuji. Purport.
Okay. Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur discusses the Krishna appeared simultaneously as the son of Devaki and the son of Yashoda, along with the spiritual energy Yogamaya. As the son of Devaki, he first appeared as Vishnu because of the Vasudeva was not in the position of pure affection of Krishna. Vasudeva worshipped his son as a Lord Vishnu. Yasoda, however, pleased her son Krishna without understanding his godhood. This is the difference between Krishna as the son of Yashoda and as the son of Devaki. This is explained by Vishwanatha Chakravarti on the authority of Hari Vamsa. Harivamsha. Yeah.
Hari. So it is very nicely explained the great secret of how Krishna's birth was actually, he took a birth from the womb of Mother Devaki also and Mother Yashoda also. It says that Krishna never leaves the Vrindavan, so he was still there when Vasudev Maharaj brought the Krishna to Gokul. Then that Krishna, which was brought, took birth from the Mother Devaki's womb, and that Krishna, which took birth from Mother Yashoda's womb, they actually they became one. And then Krishna lived there for many years in Vrindavan Dham. And when the Akrura came, that time also that Krishna, which was taken as a birth from womb of Mother Devaki, he was sent to Devaki and Vasudev to protect them, and he is the one who went again with Pandavas. But the Krishna, he remained in his a pragat form in Vrindavan all the time. And that's why gopis, they were feeling that as if Krishna is there all the time, and they could, their love was so intense that they were, always they felt that Krishna is near them, Krishna is with them. So Krishna was truly there in Vrindavan Dham. So it says, like many Acharya mentions, that Krishna never ever left the Vrindavan, and he will never ever leave the Vrindavan. So, and then there is two kind of a Vatsalya are mentioned here, which is like a Vatsalya in Aishwarya Bhav and Vatsalya in a Vatsalya in what is it in a very pure form. So in Vrindavan, whatever relations Krishna is, whatever ras Krishna is exchanging, whatever relations are there, Vatsalya Bhav, Sakhya Bhav, Madhurya Bhav, and then Dasya Bhav, they are very, very pure. I mean, that's why it is considered as the most highest than any other Vaikuntha Loka. Vrindavan is considered as the highest. And it's very difficult to get entry in Vrindavan because that kind of a love for Krishna is very pure form. And there is nobody thinks that Krishna is a god there. Like even the mother Yashoda is not thinking that Krishna is my child, is Vishnu form, or I should be careful while treating him. She will even run behind him with the stick in her hand. So it's a very pure form of love. His friends also, they will say that, oh Krishna, oh you are weak and we are very strong, so we are actually protecting you. They will do the wrestling with Krishna, they will play game with Krishna, and then they will ask him that, oh you lost, now you have to carry me. Because in one of the Leela, Krishna is carrying Sudama on his back, and Lord Balrama is carrying Pralambasur, that Pralambasur Rakshas that is later. We were talking about that last week. Because there was a Balram Jayanti. So many wonderful, even the gopis are also like Radha Rani will do the man. She will say that like, oh, you are so late now, you have to like sit there at my door. I'm not going to show you my face. And she will just trouble and tease Krishna so much. So it's a very, very sweetness. So we can see that like in material world also, if we want to compare that, sometimes the relations are very formal and sometimes they are very, very informal. So there is a sweetness in informal relationship, and that kind of a relationship Krishna experience in the Vrindavan. And then when we look at the Devaki Mata's love for Krishna, it is also Vatsalya Bhav. With Devaki and Vasudev, they wanted Lord. They see that like Lord Vishnu is our son. So when they were dealing with Krishna, they were dealing very carefully. That they were back of their mind. They always knew that even if he is my son, he is a Bhagwan Vishnu. Also, the Krishna's wives, I mean, 16,000 wives, Rukmini, they were very careful, like, dealing with Krishna. Nobody did, like, except Satyabhama was little bit informal, but then that bhav was not very much welcomed in Dwarka. Like Rukmini and other queens, they were very submissive. So that Madhurya is called as a Aishwarya Madhurya. Then Sakhya Bhav, Dasya Bhav, everything is like in a Aishwarya form. So they knew who Krishna is, and that way they were trying to love Krishna. So there is a difference between these two places in Dwarka and in Vrindavan, how Krishna is exchanging this rasa and how everyone is enjoying him. So that is what I thought, like from this purport, I will just comment on it. But if there is anything else, all of you take turn, and if something you like from all whatever reading we did today, if you like something, please mention that, or just reflection.
So Hare Krishna Mataji, so what are you saying the difference between Dwarka and Vrindavan, the Bhav is?
Aishwarya is there in Dwarka.
Oh,
And
okay.
so Mataji, how can I explain? So Aishwarya means, suppose like formally, if a girl is marrying a boy, and there is like a formal arranged marriage is there, then she will very formally talk with her husband and very dealings with like her in-laws. Everything is very formal. But if someone who knew that, like, they are like a neighbors, and the girl know very well that, like, boy also, boy's parents also, and the way after marriage she will deal with her in-laws, and it is very informal. Like I know from, like, my childhood, all of you. So, like, the way, so it is like, I'm just giving you that kind of example, that there is a difference, little bit slightly difference. So in Dwarka, it is always like a formal relation with the Krishna. Everyone is enjoying, like, Madhurya Ras. All these wives are enjoying Madhurya Ras. His parents are enjoying Vatsalya, but they have in mind that he's someone like a great personality. So they are not going to do like any kind of a joke, or they are not going to do like, let's do wrestling, or the wives are not going to say that, oh, why are you away for so long? Now we are not going to talk to you. But here in Vrindavan Dham, gopis were doing that. They were like, making Krishna do like uthak
Yeah.
baithak, not like wear this sari, do this form, like any kind of a informal relation was there. And that's a sweetness that Krishna really loved, that Vrindavan sweetness, that where he's not at all considered as a great god, or Brahmadev. When Krishna was killing some asuras, then his friend will say that, oh, your parents like worship Lord Vishnu, so Lord Vishnu is protecting you. You are not doing anything. You don't have any kind of a power, or you are not that great. So there was a sweetness in saying that. So they wanted Krishna at their level, the same level. So when Krishna is considered as a same level or even lower, then that kind of a bhav is called as a Vrindavan bhav. And when Krishna is considered as like, above you, like he's a great personality, but still I want to, do Krishna like a Vatsalya, I want to show, or I want to be. So that kind of a bhav is a Aishwarya bhav, like it's a Dwarka bhav.
Thank you, Mataji.
Sorry. Thank you. Anybody else? Any comment on Janmashtami? Anything? Uday
The other
Prabhuji, Mataji, you were reading for the first time. Anything you like? Sorry, someone was saying something.
Anagha wants to say something.
Yeah.
So I want to add here that as you said, it's Aishwarya Bhav in Dwarka. So we can relate that to Madhura Bhakti from we can relate that to Madhura Bhakti, because Madhura Bhakti is like we can love God in different forms. So there are different forms of bhakti, and this Madhura Bhakti is between either husband and wife or Priyakar Prayasi. So that Madhura Bhakti we can relate instead of, I mean, that you said, right, Aishwarya. So that Aishwarya relates to Madhura Bhakti in Dwarka.
No, Mataji. Aishwarya, I said that is an additional word. Madhurya Bhakti, we say that Madhurya Bhav is there in Dwarka also, in Vrindavan also. Madhurya Bhakti is between Krishna and his wives also, and Krishna and gopis also. So same Madhurya Bhakti, but I am saying that like Krishna and his wife in Dwarka, whatever Madhurya they are experiencing, that Madhurya Rasa, that is Aishwarya Madhurya. And in Vrindavan, between gopis and Krishna, it is that Madhurya is a pure form of Madhurya. So
Okay, yeah, I mean,
Aishwarya is an additional word I'm using. There is a Madhurya, there is a Vatsalya, there is a Sakhya, there is a Dasya. But in Vrindavan, it is in a pure form, and in Dwarka and many other Vaikuntha planet, it is a Aishwarya, Aishwarya Madhurya, Aishwarya Sakhya, Aishwarya Dasya, Aishwarya Vatsalya, like that one.
okay.
Got it, Mataji?
Yeah, got it.
So Madhurya is Madhurya. Madhurya ras, it is a ras. Aishwarya is not a ras. Aishwarya is like there is a slightly giving that what kind of flavor in that rasa also. There are different levels, so that's what I was trying to define. I have to also read it carefully, that like what is a pure madhurya, what is it called. I'm talking about the Aishwarya Madhurya, but pure Madhurya also there is some word, so I'm not remembering that. So yeah, and then when on many Vaikunthas where Krishna is like in a Narayan and Lakshmi, he is sitting there as a Narayan Lakshmi. There is a Shanta Bhav. So if you are talking about that, it is Shanta Bhav. That is also Aishwarya Bhav only, but Shanta Bhav. Shanta Ras means we don't want any type of a relation. We are just bowing down to Narayan and Lakshmi from like far distance. We are respecting them fully. We are loving them, respecting them, but we are not trying to establish any kind of a relationship. There is no, I mean, of course, Dasya is there, but there is no Sakhya, there is no Vatsalya, there is no Madhurya. No one goes to the four-handed form of a Narayana. No one try to be in a, except Lakshmi Mata, no one else, no other devotees, they try to establish that kind of a. But here, the devotees, they can think of Krishna in any of the bhav. But in a Vaikuntha Loka, it is just a Shanta Bhav. So there is a Shanta Bhav, which is also in a one way because of the Aishwarya Bhav. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so we will stop here so you can all meditate on that. Purports are wonderful, especially the first words. So if you have time, you can do the Chintan and reading full day today and tomorrow, this complete chapter or some part of the purport. And that's what, I mean, and meditate on Krishna's birth, how wonderfully he appeared. He was not a normal child, and he wanted to show his parents also, and also to the ignorant people who always think that Krishna is ordinary person. He wanted to show that like how his birth was in a four-handed form. So people will know that he was a Bhagwan who took the birth. He appeared. And he appeared like from the heart of a Devaki. It was not like the normal childbirth like that we see in this material world. So these are few things that establishes the supremacy of the Krishna. So if you want to tell your friends, you can tell this story that how he appeared. So with this, I will stop here. Thank you so much for giving me association and reading this with me first this chapter.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I have one very quick question. Is
Yeah.
regarding the energies, like you know, when like they were talking about all the energies when they get together, and then when the world comes to an end, they separate, right? How, if you can little expand on that, please.
Yeah, what verse was that? But like what I remember, I will tell you, Mataji, that they were talking that Krishna's different energy. Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita that eight energies are there, and talks about all the five Pancha Mahabhuta, that is earth, water, air, ether, and fire, and then intelligence, mind, intelligence, and ego. So these are eight my different energy Krishna talks in Bhagavad Gita. So these eight energy first appears, and combination of these energies and three gunas, all this world is manifested. And when at the time of inhalation, all these energies they will again, there is a Mahat Tattva, it's like a cloud like form, which is situated between the material and the spiritual world, that this Mahat Tattva is there. So from Mahat Tattva, when Krishna look at or he glances over the Mahat Tattva, all these energy appears, and everything combination of this, then Krishna's Virat Roop and everything is explained in the second canto. How slowly, when he that Virat Roop wanted to see something, the eyes appears and the sight and everything, that like no, that God who is controlling that sight, like sun god, that appears. So like he wants to speak, and then the speech that comes into existence, mouth comes into existence, and the goddess who controls that comes into existence. So like that, this all the everything forms, and these are all Krishna's energies. Even our bodies, that is made up of all these material things, that is also Krishna's external energy. And at the time of inhalation, when everything is destroyed, everything together, all these energy, they comes together, and then they go back into the Mahat Tattva and sit there unless Krishna wants it. And then again, when he looks at it, then again the new Brahmanda created and everything start. So that is what is given there in the subtle form. And what happens to the jivas are also sitting near the uh, Mahavishnu, Mahavishnu's body, near Mahavishnu's body. We are not going to be Ekaroop, or we are not going to become one with Mahavishnu, but we are sitting near the Mahavishnu as our individual souls. And when again the new Brahmanda is created, we souls are again given a different body according to our karmas and the previous lives. And then then again the new era starts, new Brahmanda starts. So that is what is given. And annihilations are also very different types of annihilation. Sometimes only few planets are destroyed within a Brahmanda. When Brahmadev goes to the sleep, all the planetary systems which is below the Brahmalok uh, are destroyed. Like I think 14 planetary systems are, so I think 12 or 11 are destroyed completely. So that time also everything, all that energy is sitting somewhere there inside that Brahmanda only, and all jivas are sitting near the Garbhodakshay Vishnu, which is again in that Brahmanda, and Brahmadev is just sleeping. When Brahmadev gets up, then he again start his work by taking that all the energies, that is Krishna's energies, and we jivas are also Krishna's energy. So he takes that external energy and marginal energy and create all the Brahmanda, all the planetary system, all different bodies, and we are all given a different again bodies as per our previous karma. So this is explained in many places. So this is what is what
Yeah,
that
thank you,
was
Mataji.
about.
So the sum total of all the energy is constant, is it?
Yes, Mataji.
Oh, thank you, Mataji.
Yeah. So in a way, this external energy also never ever. So Prakriti, we call it. It is eternal. It will never ever destroy. It is not going to be less if I use it. It is not going to be more if I add. I mean, it remains constant. Yeah, you're right.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। श्रीमद् भागवतम
Jai.
भगवद
Jai.
गीता की जय।
Jai.
श्रील
Jai.
प्रभुपाद की जय।
Jai.
जन्माष्टमी
Jai.
महोत्सव की जय।
Jai.
Jai.
जय
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare
Nagadha
Bol.
Mataji ki
Krishna, Hari
jai.
Bol.
Thank you so
Hare
much.
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare.
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 हरे
Hari
Hare
Bol.
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare.
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Na
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Ram
Rama
Ram,
Hare
Hare.
Hare. धन्यवाद माता जी।
Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
So,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna,
Hare
Hari
Thank
Krishna.
Bol.
you.
Hare
Anaga Mataji joining first time, so let us welcome her by chanting 3 times Hari Bol in our traditional
हरि
way.
हरि
बोल
Hari
बोल,
Bol.
हरि
हरि
बोल,
बोल
Hare
हरि
Hari
बोल।
Bol.
Hare
Hari
Hare.
Bol.
Hare Krishna, Anaga Mataji. Thank you so much for joining and your association. Please join every Sunday. Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Mata.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
so much. Thank you
Hare
for
Krishna.
reading wonderfully, all of you. Yeah.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Hare
I
Krishna.
also wanted to let everyone know. I don't know if all the members are aware and go to the ISKCON, Potomac and Baltimore. They have a lot of celebrations today and tomorrow for Lord Krishna's birthday. Especially Potomac ISKCON, where I am associated. They're doing Kirtan from 12 to 8, non-stop Kirtan, and tomorrow 6 to midnight. And there is Abhishek opportunities available from 5 to 9 today and tomorrow, also 6 to midnight or something like that. So I hope everybody is aware of all these things, right? There's a lot of seva opportunities also available on both the temples.
Yes,
Please
thank you
pray
so
for
much,
us,
Mataji.
Mataji, when you go there. Please pray for all of us. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna. Hari Bol.
Hari Hari. So whoever are in this area, you can please visit ISKCON, Potomac or Baltimore. Today and tomorrow, both the day, lot of celebrations are there. Thank you, Mataji. Thank
A
you
lot
so
of
much.
celebration and lot of services opportunity also. So please go and help to the temple because there will be more than 5,000 people will be visiting. So lots of prasadam is also preparing and so many services. So please
Thank
Hari
you.
Bol.
volunteer.
Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Dhanyavad.
Tashi Mataji.
Thank you, Haribol.
Hari Bol.
Radhe Radhe.